My name is Sarah Lynch. Lots of you know me. There are lots of familiar faces in the audience. For those of you who don't, I'm in the road safety team at the European Commission, and it's my job and pleasure to shepherd you through this afternoon's proceedings. So welcome, first of all, to this launch event of the second edition of the European Road Safety Exchange. We're very pleased that we have finally been able to get you all to Brussels to launch the second edition. I want to inform you before we start that the event is being live streamed and recorded, so anyone who doesn't want your face shown, you'll have to hold up a piece of paper or something, but otherwise your beautiful faces will be shared with the world. So the European Road Safety Exchange is something that's been going for the last 3 years. It was initially designed as a pilot project, funded by the European Parliament, organised by the European Commission, and run on our behalf by ETSC, for which our thanks. The idea is that we address the disparities that there are, the quite significant disparities that there are in the road safety performance of the EU member states. Tomorrow, yes it is tomorrow, the 19th of October, we'll be publishing the finalised road fatality and serious injury statistics for 2022. And there, the differences really are very stark. So we all have a lot to learn from each other. It's also the purpose of this, this exchange program to create this network. You're already chatting amongst yourselves, already discovering areas of mutual interest. I've seen business cards being exchanged already, so we're off to a good start. But that's what this is also about, which is creating and strengthening this network of road safety experts and professionals in the EU member states, so that it's easier to pick up the phone and say, look, we're dealing with this particular problem, what have you done? Or I have this great project that we have rolled out, what do you think, could it work in your context? We've had a 3-year initial stage of the project. Not great timing, it has to be said, during COVID. So some of the exchange activities that we had planned had to be put online. There was a lot of emailing and phoning and meeting on Zoom and so on. But we got there, and indeed we really saw some tangible progress. In this edition, this second edition, there are 19 countries taking part, which is a huge expansion of the previous edition. So we're really very pleased that there is such interest and commitment to taking part in this exchange program. So thank you all. Antonio will be going into more detail on the participating countries and what everybody's doing in a few minutes. So this one, some of the themes that are going to be dealt with are reducing speed. We all know it's a core element of road crashes, both the incidence and severity thereof. Building safe infrastructure, which it's expensive, but we all need it. Improving enforcement and data collection, also essential elements of the chain. And the safety of pedestrians and cyclists in urban areas. We all know that the numbers are improving and have improved a lot for the people inside the vehicle. The people outside the vehicle are still very vulnerable. So I want to thank you all for the commitment shown on these specific topics, and I think they really, if we can address those, we really will make a difference to the deaths and serious injuries on European roads. So in the European Road Safety Exchange, as I mentioned, it started initially with a pot of money being given to us by the European Parliament who wanted to do something on road safety. And one of the key proponents in the European Parliament is MEP Elena Contura. She couldn't be with us today because the European Parliament is meeting in Strasbourg this week. Some of them got a bit lost and went to Disneyland Paris, as you may have seen in the press, but that's neither here nor there. But I know she was very keen to have shared this afternoon with us, and she wanted to share her thoughts. So let's hear from Elena Contura.
Dear friends, it's a pleasure and a great honor for me to be addressing you as today's launch event of the EU Road Safety Exchange Program's second chapter. Even though I very much wanted to be with you in person on this great occasion, I'm currently in Strasbourg for the Parliament's plenary session. First, I would like to thank the European Commission and the European Transport Safety Council, Antonio Venoso, and his whole team for making this important project a real success and a benchmark in road safety cooperation. I would also like to congratulate the experts from the participating member states and to wish them very fruitful discussion. Today is a special moment for me personally, as I had the honor to propose the continuation of the program for a further 3-year period supported by many of my colleagues from most political groups. And we support the program for very good reasons. The European Union aims to reduce road deaths and serious injuries by 50% by 2030, but still, there are almost 20,000 road deaths every year in the EU, while there is a very wide gap in road safety among member states. These deaths, which are very often of young people, are unacceptable, but not inevitable. Member states do not share the same starting point, and there is a wide margin for learning from one another. In order to achieve this goal collectively at the European level, it is crucial for EU member states to collaborate and exchange knowledge on effective policies. The EU Road Safety Exchange Programme has had a very positive impact in the participant member states, and I know firsthand that my country participation, Greece, has led to many important policy proposals that, if implemented, can save many lives on Greek roads. The program is yet another example of the soft power of the European Union. Even in fields that are mostly national competence, European action has a clear added value and we must support it. In the same context, I would also like to remind you of the Parliament's call for a new EU agency for road transport that should also be mandated to work on promoting road safety in Europe. The road safety program's success is a living proof that such an agency is very much needed in Europe. Last, I would like to remind you that this is the second 3-year period of the Road Safety Exchange Programme, and the European Parliament will not be able to renew it under the same budget line. I would urge all of you involved, the ETSC team and national experts, to commit to the project and showcase its value so that we can put pressure to the Commission to consider moving from a pilot project to a fully fledged European program in the future. I wish you all best success in your very important work for road safety in Europe.
Thank you, Ms. Contura, and no pressure there. So I would like to now ask Antonio Avenoso, the Executive Director of ETSC, to speak with us in more detail about which countries are taking part, what the project is all about, and what you're all going to get out of it. So, Antonio, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, a disclaimer. I didn't write that speech. I would have loved to, because I tend to agree with most of, with everything that she said. Seriously, I'm delighted to have you here, so many of you. I would lie if I told you that on Monday evening or Tuesday morning I would have bet that we could meet here all together. These have been very, very difficult moments for all of us, for Brussels, for Europe, for the world. And our thoughts are still with the families of those who have been killed in the terroristic attack. But life continues, road safety continues. We would like to thank you wholeheartedly for your presence here. And let's continue working together to save lives instead of anything else. Road Safety Exchange, Sarah made a great introduction about the project itself, and maybe I will manage to move the slide. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. That was said already. We started with, this is at the moment a 3-year preparatory action of the EU, funded by the European Parliament and managed by the European Commission with the help of ETSC. The idea was rather simple, and we thank the Commission for putting this together when it was the pilot project, basically having an activity in which member states would not just talk via PowerPoint presentations or speeches, but would do some hands-on activity, talking to one another, talking to peers, talking to colleagues who are doing hands-on work on road safety in other countries and really learning from one another. Next slide, please. And I cannot do it myself, so yeah, thank you, Emantas. And the Road Safety Exchange continues and expands the first phase of the project, which was run between 2019 and 2022. And at that time, it was mainly focusing on 6 countries, Bulgaria, Greece, Lithuania, Poland, Portugal, and Romania. And now expands to the new 3 participating member states. That is the 6 ones, they continue working with us on the project, plus Hungary, Czechia, and Croatia. Of course, the participating countries are joined by other partners, by 10 more member states with whom the exchange of best practices is taking place, and we are delighted and thankful to have in the room representatives from Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Spain, Sweden, and the Netherlands. It's becoming with 19 countries, so it's expanding more and more, and we hope one day to be able to cover all the member states of the European Union. And you'll see with these little arrows on the map how many exchanges will happen between one member state and the other. Now, this is the list of the activities that we will do in the 3 years of the project. Some of them have already taken place, and in the next slides we will see one after the other. First and foremost, we said there were 9 countries involved, and we of course needed to talk to each and every one of these countries to select the topics on which they wanted to be twinned. It's a 3-year project. We are not expecting to twin the countries on every and each possible area of road safety. So for each of the country, we asked them to select 2 topics on which they would like to learn more from other participating countries. The first of this high-level meeting was in Portugal back in March 2023 with high-level representatives from the National Road Safety Authority and other relevant parties. We agreed to work in the 3 year of the project on 2 priority topics, one being enforcement, where Portugal will work together with the Netherlands, but also very important, this is, was quite a novelty compared to the previous activity of the project on urban safety. So we will have twinning activities not between 2 countries, but between local authorities. And 2 local authorities in Portugal, namely the city of Cascais, will partner with Brussels, and then we will also have Mirandela partnering with Pontevedra in Spain. Pontevedra, all of you will know, is also famous for having won in the past the Urban Road Safety Award. Then, after Portugal, we went to Croatia on the 25th of April 2023. 2 priority topics that will be enforcement with the Netherlands and safe road infrastructure with Sweden. The third of the high-level meeting was in Vilnius in Lithuania with high-level representatives from the Ministry of Transport and Communications. They are here in the room today, and the Transport Competence Agency and other relevant authorities. And it was decided that Lithuania will work with Ireland on enforcement, and with Sweden on safe road infrastructure. And for this second activity, actually, Lithuania jumped the gun, if you want, because they started already doing the activities even before today's launch event, but we will see more in the slides to come. Then to Czechia and Prague on the 22nd of May. The minister in person was there, Minister of Transport, representatives from the Ministry of Interior, from the Transport Research Center, and speed management, one of the topics which was several times mentioned in the visits we had, twinned with France, and safe road infrastructure with Germany. Next one was on the 25th of May, Warsaw, Poland, with representatives from the Ministry of Infrastructure, the National Road Safety Council, and other authorities. Road safety education with Denmark, also following one of the projects that ETSC has been working on recently, the LEARN project, and enforcement with a special focus on interlock technologies and recidivist programs with Belgium. Bulgaria, which I missed, unfortunately, because I was sick on the 31st of May with the State Agency for Road Safety, traffic police, and other relevant authorities. Driver training with Spain in the first phase of the project. Spain was one of the most chosen countries by the colleagues, and I'm happy to say that this is the case also for this second phase of the Road Safety Exchange project. And also in that road collision investigation with Finland, who is at the forefront for collision investigation, and we will have also a presentation on this later today. 1st of June, the day after, in Budapest, in Hungary, with the Ministry of Interior and KTI, the topics to work on: speed management with Austria, and driver training with our colleagues from the Road Safety Authority in Ireland. Bucharest, 15th of May 2023, Ministry of Transport, Traffic Police, the Safety Council, and other authorities, and Romania will work on safe road infrastructure with Germany, and on enforcement with Spain. Last but not least, we were in Athens, in Greece, on the 30th of June, with Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, the Hellenic Police, representatives from civil society, and the two priority topics which were agreed are urban road safety with the city of Copenhagen, and power two-wheelers with Spain. Now, one of the activities of the Road Safety Exchange project will be the study visits. As I said at the beginning, we really want to have hands-on work, to have the experts go and see how the others are working on road safety. And the first one for Lithuania already happened on the implementation of the Vision Zero principles on 2+1 roads, on the system of reversing lanes, on safe urban mobility solution. And this was done, as I said, at the end of August. This is new compared to the previous phase of the project. We will have all the activities of the Road Safety Exchange project on the online platform, a platform which will be open to the 19 participating countries, plus to any other country that will want to learn more from the activities that are being done, from the work that is being carried out in the framework of the Road Safety Exchange. Something that I forgot to mention, and I had thought I should not forget, and I forget, is to say that the study visits will also be open to other member states of the European Union who are not directly involved to in the Road Safety Exchange. We have already discussions with Malta, Malta, with Cyprus, with some Latvia, with some smaller countries who would have liked to attend. Of course, they were not fully a full member of the Road Safety Exchange, but they will be invited to the various activities that will take place during the 3 years. Next step, indeed, we will have for each country, as I said, 2 study visits in other member states, but also thematic workshops to be held in the 9 exchanging countries. So the idea, and this was not possible in the previous phase of the project because of the COVID, was that the colleagues will not only go to other countries to see how the others are doing, but will also receive the twinning countries at home to be able to exchange more on how work is being done in the chosen areas. And of course, we will, of course, not limit the activity to the 2 focus moments of the study visit and of the thematic workshop. The idea is to have continuous exchanges, which can be done via the platform, via online meetings, via follow-up visits, and of course we aim to have also a best practice seminar in Brussels that is somewhere in between phase 1 and phase 2 of the project, so that we can take stock and tell the others how activities are progressing. And I think this is the last slide, so thank you very much for following, and we really look forward to all the activities and to come back here in 1 year and then for the final event to tell you more about the results of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio. It was a very good overview of what we can all expect for the coming 3 years. Antonio, you mentioned that one of the most popular countries in the previous edition of the Road Safety Exchange, and also one of the more requested ones in this one, was Spain. Now, could that be because of the study visits to Spain? Nice cities, lovely weather. No, it's also because of the significant progress that they've been making on road safety over recent years. Spain is going to be presenting in the shape of Cristina Rodenas on the issue of protecting vulnerable road users. Spain has been putting forward very significant measures in this area in recent years. We're all familiar with the national default 30-kilometre-an-hour limit, which is an inspiration to many of us. So I think Cristina, who is at the Perm Rep at the representation of Spain at the European Union at the moment, she used to be in the international department at the Spanish Director General for Traffic, and we look forward to hearing your intervention. Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you very much to the ETSC team and the Commission. It is true that we have been one of the most, not success, because it is not like this, it's just to be, I mean, we have been one of the most asked country for the cooperation, so we try to cooperate with all of you and we try to do our best. Is it true that it's really good for us to exchange our best practices with the member states, but it's really good to get the inputs from the other member states, because we know that one size not fit all. So it's true that some measures in our member state, it's good, but could help to be implemented in a different way, in a different situation, with the different measures, but could help to see some small details that we don't usually do or we cannot see. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can. So this is not going to be explained because Antonio explained already, but is it true that in the last pilot project, Spain participated in 2 priority topics with power two-wheelers safety with Greece and the infrastructure safety with Romania. As Antonio has mentioned, we had to suffer the COVID period, and we have to say that we missed our workshops, thematic workshop in Greece and in Romania. So we hope that this time we can manage, and even the Spanish looks like, I mean, we like to go to visit different countries as well. So we hope this time we can do it. I don't want to forget that I have to apologize my Director General for not being here. He is actually in the National Assembly of the Ibero-American Observatory in Republic Dominic. So he's quite sorry because he's not here, but he's enjoying the time as well. So and I will try to do my best to explain. So this was, this was our first study visit. We received the Greek delegation from the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure on the 10th, 11th November 21st. It was the study visit, and they make a 2 days visit. We try to explain more or less a little bit about the Mostoles Center. We have one of the main training centers for the theoric exams and the practical, and we discuss with the trainees and we discuss with the professionals as well. We explain as well the Spanish strategic approach to improving the safety of powered wheelers, that it's already published in our national plan. And we went as well to the Department of Mobility of Madrid, and we met with the City Council presentation for the new plan of Madrid 360 that aims to improve the safety of the powered wheelers, including lower speed, more parking, and dedicated lane pilot project. This was our second study visit with Romania. We have the Romanian delegation with the representative from Ministry of Transport and Romanian Road Authority and the National Company for Road Administration. They came to Madrid from 17, 18 November 21st, and we focus on safe road infrastructure. We made as well a 2 days visit, and we tried to show them on the spot what we were doing. And we made a whole trip to Segovia, and on the way we stopped in the tunnel safety equipment. We showed them the winter road safety equipment, the procedures of the audit and the inspections, and as well they could see directly and get the information about the reservoir tunnels, and they could see as well the management center. They could see as well the Madrid Traffic Management Center. It's one of the main ones we have, and they could see how we can coordinate all the center of Spain, and we can control the different roads and different equipments. For this new project, we have been asked, as Antonio have already said, that we are going to participate in 3 priority topics. We continue with the Greece working on powered wheeler safety, because it's true that it's one of the main issues we as a southern country we have, and we share our concerns, and the number of fatalities are increasing, and we have to be really, really careful. We will work with Bulgaria as well on driver training, and we will work with Romania in enforcement. So the main issue that I suppose to explain, it's how we are doing in Spain to protect our vulnerable users. So the thing is that the preliminary figures for 2022, they said already that the 20,600 people were killed in a road crash accident. So it was an increase of 3% on 21st. And most of the accidents could be avoided. We realized that one of the main issues we have to take care of is to make the roads more human. So we try to make humanization and to try to understand that Nowadays, more and more different road users are using or are traveling, and we are trying to get this sustainable mobility. So we have to be really careful and to be empathy with the rest and to get a comprehensive approach. Oop. Okay, I didn't make it like this, but it's good. So what are we doing exactly in our roads? These are one of the main actions we are taking care of. So we are taking the roads, the safe system approach, and trying to design the roads considering the human error. We know that all can make the mistakes, but we have to be able to minimize the impact of that mistakes. So we are trying to get different road designed from now on. We get the implementation of 30 kilometers an hour. I will explain that a little bit later. Made the road design influenced by driving, including speeding, so self-enforcement road. Make as well the road hierarchy, design an appearance for its function, so it's easy when we know exactly what we have to do. And as well, the self-explanatory roads. In its category, it's obviously, but sometimes we need to understand each other and to see the cyclist, pedestrian, crossing, and of course, to change our mind and go from a proactive approach instead of a reactive historical approach. And of course, to make a high efficiency road assessment. So we know already that 90% of the collision that could occur, that the speed could not result in death if we reduce the speed limit. So that's why Spain, in 2021, we decided in a national level, because it was already approved and it was already implemented in different cities, as for example, Pontevedra, as Antonio has already mentioned. And we implement the 30 kilometers per hour in the whole national road. So why we decided to do it? It was quite easy. We have international arguments and more than we could imagine. We had already on the third UN Global Road Safety Conference approved considering the importance of the 30 kilometers an hour safe level that can assure and avoid lots of fatalities. And we have as well on the 6th World Road Safety Week that the streets with low speeds limit save life. This was a really great campaign that helps a lot to us to implement as well. And these are the arguments that we took care. It was in the event of a collision of 50 kilometers, 90% die, and 30 kilometers only 10% die. Braking distance and noise are half is an aid to calming traffic in our cities, because while road death decrease in the city, they are increasing, and because it is common sense that on single-lane roads you cannot drive 50 kilometers an hour. So the thing was that we changed to 30 kilometers per hour in a single lane in each direction, and allow us to reduce this dance of acceleration and braking we have. The new limit improves drivers' view on the streets they are circulating over, and of course reduce the risk of the accidents. But what we made exactly, it was taking a big leap toward improving city safety. We must remember that reducing the speed at which we travel is not only achieved with the change in the law. The new 30 kilometers per hour limit, it was an opportunity to transform many of our streets, recover the uses of the public space, and favor sustainable means of mobility while keeping streets from encouraging drivers to move too fast, providing safe zebra crossing for pedestrians, and improving cycling safety in general. We implement the measure, it was 21st of May. The last number we got, it was at the end of the year compared with the previous year that it was 2019, and we get a reduction of 14% of the number of deaths. We are waiting for the new numbers at the end of the year to know a little bit, because it was too short period to make the real comparison, but it was really good to have those dates as well. And one of the main inputs we had to get that measure, it was something that it was asked for everyone. It was not something that we imposed. All the different local, regional, and national level authorities were asking for this. We had a great conversation with the municipalities. We put in place a public consultation to get information for all different stakeholders as well, how we can do it. And that's why, in general, after a great communication as well campaign, all we were together in the same view. And it was something that it was not needed to explain more, that everybody realized that little by little it was not just, as I said, a change of a number, but a change of a view and a change of the streets and how they can improve and they can have a better pedestrian areas. So these are different examples as well, the things we are trying to do for the delimitation and separation of traffic direction, to make the roads a little bit more human as well, and to make it safer for the rest. Concerning the cyclists, cyclists account for 3% of all fatalities among road users worldwide. And by WHO figures, 5% in the whole Europe. So we have to be really careful, because the most important factors that are inherent, it's the unsafe traffic system and the unsafe infrastructure for the cyclist. It's true that the further risk factors are associated with age, gender, knowledge of traffic regulation, alcohol, speed, but we have to be really careful, because the numbers are increasing and they are more and more involved in road crash than the rest of the vulnerable users. Sorry. I have to say, oops, no, because I want to point out this guide of recommendation for the design of cyclist infrastructure that the Ministry of Transport, Mobility and Urban Agenda approved just now, with the aim to become a reference manual for those public administration that undertake within the scope of competencies the laning, construction and maintenance of these infrastructures. So it's trying to provide a tool that help reorient mobility toward the more sustainable and active means of transport, trying to protect health, the environment, the safety, air quality, well-being and safety for all. So this guide, it's just designed and finished to be served as a reference tool for the technical staff of the administration, but also for the interesting citizens and interesting people with political responsibilities in planning and design the cyclist networks. Concerning pedestrian, we have exactly the same. We are trying to make it more human and taking into account the importance of pedestrian journeys in the complete journey, because we are trying to promote the active mobility, but we need to help them to have the whole footpaths and crosses in their safe development, in fundamental requirement for modal shift. So these are a couple of small examples we have. Pedestrians actually are the 23% of all road fatalities. So, and as I said previously, one of the major risk factors, it's as well the speed, drinking, but the unsafe infrastructures. And of course, the inadequate visibility of walkers. So we have to be really careful. Concerning the power two-wheelers, we are making this signings as well, that you can see how many fatalities have been occurring in that place, how many dead people are there. You can see that this is a road that it's usually mainly focused on the use of motorways. And yeah, and here you have another example as well, because it's like to show which kind of lane it's assisting, that this place is exactly for being used in a general way for the motorcyclists, and to be just aware that you have to be really careful with that one. And these and the rest are the things that we are going to show, or we are trying to show to the rest of the people, to how we are trying to improve our road safety infrastructure as well, our measures to avoid vulnerable road users, and we will try for the next 2.5 years to help the rest of the and waiting to see most of you in our country and to exchange our knowledge with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina. Come and join me up here. And thank you so much for taking time out from a busy Spanish presidency of the European Council to be with us today. Do we have questions from the room? George, hang on, I think we have a microphone coming towards you.
Hi, I'm George Yannis, professor at the National Technical University of Athens. A very short question. Greece and Spain have a lot of similarities. However, you perform much better. In planning, we can do a lot. However, the implementation is the issue. And the question for you is how you manage to convince the people to behave, and especially how you manage motorcyclists who are the most rebellious to change behavior in order to reach the results which are really astonishing and who would like to copy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. I'm really happy that you consider us as a leader, but as my Director General could say, there is no a good idea if we have still dead people. So our data could be maybe better than yours, but it's not good either. We have to accept as well that we have a it's getting better, but it's true that it's really high. And we have to be really careful, because we realize, we have made a study after the pandemic, and we realize that after the pandemic, we get a worse behavior on the motorcycle than the rest of the users. Why? Because they decided that they wanted to take the motor without any training, any knowledge, and we try to focus a lot nowadays with the training for everybody from the beginning till the end. So voluntary training for everybody. We have our road safety courses to get points as well in our penalty point system. We are trying to put lots of different road safety campaign, making it publicly and trying to show them how to do it. And in general, we started to work with the power-to-wheelers a long time ago. It's true. The number of power-to-wheelers, they were much more less than now. And maybe we are seeing now the results of our first motor national plan that we had from 2017 till 2019. Now we are trying to make an impact assessment of what we get after that plan, and we are planning for the next one. So we still keep on, and our data could be good, but still we have to improve a lot. So thank you.
Any other questions from the room? Yes, also from Greece. Just wait one moment.
Vasiliki Danelli from the President of the Road Safety Institute. We've been working with a group from the beginning for the exchange. We have been working with DGT for years now in other programs, and you have been doing an amazing work indeed. You mentioned in your presentation that you have brought together the stakeholders to develop campaigns and to make decisions. Two questions I have. How constructive was this bringing together the different stakeholders? And if there were you saw results. And I also know that DGT sponsors robust NGOs like SLM and other organizations. Do you still carry on and do you see some important result on this? And how much did you put in terms of budget? Approximately, probably don't know precisely. Did you allocate funds for this change and this improvement? And concerning the fines, the money you receive from the fines, do you do something with this? In Greece, it goes to the public, to the general. It doesn't even go to the Ministry of Transport. How does DGT with this and the government? How do you handle this issue? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will try to answer all the questions. So first of all, we have, as you said, we have a really close cooperation with the association, Victim Association, for example, with SLEME and Stop Accidents. We really count on them for absolutely everything. Maybe you know that we have our National Council, Road Safety Council, and all parts of the civil society, it's there. It's not only the administration, because we have a coordination within the national administration, but we have as well the regional, the local. We have the municipality, city council inside as well. We have the NGOs, we have the stakeholders. And for example, with the 30 kilometers per hour, we arrived to implement it because we had a great discussion in the council. We gave the inputs from all of them. We analyzed all the amendments or all the ideas they had, and we took a whole document that put into the Minister Council. So that was exactly the main reason why this measure was, so good or so well accepted, because it was something together with all the different participants. Concerning the fines, all the single euro we get from the fines is reverted to the road safety measures. Absolutely everything goes directly to our ministry, and the ministry put it in our budgets, and we revert it in different national campaigns, measure for the road safety infrastructures, or changing designing, or even funding as well. It's true for the victim associations as well, and helping them to recover and to have a better life after the accidents. And it was another question, I don't remember.
No, I think it was about the governance and the overall, the support. She did ask a budget for support to stakeholders, but maybe you don't have that at your fingertips.
No, we don't have it. As such, we don't have it.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Good. Thank you so much, Christina. You will stay with us for another few minutes. There's another question. Sorry, Alain.
Sorry, Alain Rial from the Portugal Road Safety Association. Just a package of 3 questions, but all related. Do you have any idea about the information of the 30 kilometers network extension in Spain? The other one, did you set any goals or targets for the implementation of the 30 kilometers roads? And how is the progress ongoing with this implementation of these 30 kilometer roads, please? Thank you.
Thank you. I have no answer for most of them, but it has been already implemented in the 100% of the kilometer. In the whole national road system that we have. How many kilometers I cannot tell you because I know how many kilometers of roads we have, but not for that stitch that we have changed from 50 to 30 kilometers per hour. And we are preparing now the impact assessment and the results of the real implementation, because it was just implemented in the half 2021. So we need a couple of years at least to get the real data. And we're supposed to get the information at the end by the end of this year or the beginning of the next year. So we will have the whole study and the whole impact, how many kilometers and all the answers. I hope I can answer on that moment. Sorry.
And hopefully we'll be able to share that information with you through the platform or other means of communication through the European Road Safety Exchange. Sam, you had a final question?
Yeah, thank you. Christina, it's really just an extension of the question just asked. Would, at a national level, would the government in Spain have the legal vires to override let's say a decision around a particular speed limit in a village or town or municipality, if there was a difference of opinion between the local government and the central government? Does that question make sense?
So if a municipality decides it wants to keep a stretch at 50 kilometres an hour, can you impose 30 kilometres on them?
They have the right to decide, because we put it 30 kilometers by default, but if they are able to explain in a technical reason why is it possible to make it at 50 as it was, and to have the sufficient impact assessment to prove that could be enough, they can do it, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's a question of default in one direction or the other, I think. Great, thank you, Christina. This is an excellent intervention. Our next speaker comes from France, also one of our very sought-after partners in the Road Safety Exchange. David Julliard is the Deputy Delegate for Road Safety at the French Ministry of the Interior, going to be speaking about speed and speed enforcement, as we all know, one of the biggest killers in road traffic, and something that France has been taking very seriously. So, David, over to you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the organization of this meeting. Thank you to the Commission and to ETSC. Thank you for Antonio organizing this meeting. First, I would like to express the feeling of solidarity of French road safety delegation with the people of Brussels, who have been struck once again by a terrorist attack. My thoughts go as well as to the Swedish tourists who have been killed here in Brussels. We have so much suffered with terrorism in France. So my solidarity with our friends in Belgium. Second point is to apologize for my poor English. We are not used to speak English in France, but I will do my best. Be patient. Well, I would like to expose the practice of speed enforcement in France, but first I like to expose the position of delegation of road safety. The road safety delegate has been created in 1972, and the road safety delegation has been created in 1982, 10 years later. And the department of the delegation was attached to the Ministry of Interior in 2012. The idea was to make more links with the police forces. But of course, we work very closely together with all the ministry involved with road safety in France, such as justice, education, health, and transport, of course. We have interministerial actions, but our main tasks are, we have 5 main tasks, which are establish a regulation, the main regulation, the Code de la Route, have road education programs, establish campaigns, communication campaigns, and study and experiments, research in the field of road safety. And the 5th, not the least, is automated control, which I developed now. You can see in this chart 2 landmarks, very important landmarks. In 1992, we implemented the point-based driving license, penalty point driving license, which is well developed in European countries. And 12 years later, we implemented automatic speed camera. And we think the both measures are deeply attached one to the other one, and we think the form of the curve with decreasing of the fatalities and the crashes on the road is very much attached to these 2 landmarks, the important moment of our policies. Just a few words about our doctrine, our policies regarding behavior, individual behavior. We have experienced significant advances in infrastructure and vehicles. It has mainly, it was very efficient to lower the number of crashes on road. But now we think the most important thing is behavior, is to change the way people use the roads and use the vehicles. Just a figure to have in mind that 84% of persons responsible for fatalities on roads are men. That means that behavior is maybe more important than infrastructure. We have a lot of infrastructure developments, but the key problem is the behavior on roads. So it's the main project of French road safety delegation to change the way people live on roads. And the other problem is that we have in France 1.5 million kilometers of roads. It's not easy to change the infrastructure. It's long and it's costly. So we have no time to lose. We must save lives now. You cannot replace 1.5 billion kilometers of roads by highways. So the combination of penalty point driving license, we have 12 point maximum, and automated control of various offenses, essentially speed and traffic light, enables us to have a graduated management of infringements. That is very important because we think that the educational benefit is linked with the graduation of the management of infringements. You have 2 main ways to recover points when you lose points because of an infringement, an offense on the roads. You can have a awareness training course. You can recover 4 points in this kind of courses. But the second way is much more important, is and still very better, is change your driving habits on roads. If you don't commit a new offense, then you will recover your penalty points depending on what was the gravity, the severity of the offense. What the legal framework is focused on the holder of registered certificate because we don't know who is guilty, who is the responsible for an offense when it is checked by a speed camera. So the holder of the registration certificate is the recipient of the infringement, whoever is the driver of the infringement. You have penalty points and fixed fine, depending on the observed speeding. And we install, we develop, we deploy speed cameras on roadways according to long-term accident rates, accident fatalities and casualties observations. The decision depends on local governments, préfet, a local representative of the states, together with my delegation, and the technical installation and financial support is given by my delegation together with the local authorities, the municipalities, and so on. This little table to show you two kind of report concerning offenses. Automated report with automated camera, which focus on speeding and crossing offenses, traffic lights and railway traffic lights. But there is an also mean to report offenses, which is electronic report on the smartphone of police officers by video ticketing when the offense is seen by electronic way, like a video or something like that. Or for all offenses, police can do a electronic report when there is an interception of the rider, of the offender. We work together with the National Agency for Automated Processing of Offenses, which we call ANTAI, located in Paris and in Rennes, Bretagne, west of France. The ANTAI, the National Agency, processing manages the processing of offenses, which are ascertained by the judicial police officer team, a team of 45 officers who are located in Rennes, in Bretagne. But the ownership, the project ownership of the speed camera remains to my delegation, delegation of road safety. It's important to have in mind that the approved devices the findings of the approved device, the findings are authoritative. You cannot contest them. Other countries, it's the same thing, but it's very important to have this point in mind. Now, just a word on the national agency, which we are working together. What it is doing, it is processing every step of the treatment of the offense. ANTAI, that is a national agency, send a statement to the holder of the registration certificate. And in the same time, just before a short lapse of time, ANTAI sent the infringement to the National Office for Driving Licenses, which is an office of the Road Safety Delegation, of my delegation. Because it's the National Office for Driving Licenses that update the penalty point on the driving license. And it is very important to have a short delay before the offense and the receiving of the fine and the mail that give information to the driver license holder to make a recent remembering of the offense. It's a very crucial point for us to have very short time to operate a very short, very rapid treatment of these steps. Some figures about our cameras, our speed cameras. So ANTAI processes 17 million offenses each year, especially on speed offenses, but also crossing traffic light. There is 4,600 automated cameras, roughly, in France. Majority is fixed cameras on roads, but you have also cameras on board and moving cameras which can move to the most dangerous point of the roads. Just a few words on the budget. The French state, devoted a budget of 3.8 million euros yearly for road safety. And compared to this budget, the fixed fines coming from automatic control, automatic cameras, represent roughly 700 million. That means that the French taxpayer contributes to 82% of the burden, the total road safety expenditure, and the offender contribute to 18% of the annual road safety expenditure. We think that risky behavior must contribute to improve the safety of the roads. We have very large debate, contestations in France regarding our speed cameras. A lot of people think that it's just cash machine, and it's important to have in mind that the main contributor is the taxpayer. Just to final words for our further developments on automatic speed cameras. We have a program which is focused on the security of road workers. Great concern about road workers. A lot of fatalities recently. Emergency services crash, and every people who are working on roads are danger, great danger. So it was a decision of the recent Interministerial Committee for Road Safety, which was chaired by the Prime Minister on July 17 this year, to develop new ways to control the safety of road workers. And another axis of development of research is to try to have new infringements controlled by automatic control, such as phone by hand while driving, unfastened seatbelt. We estimate that 500 people could be saved if they fasten their seatbelt in France, 500 people. So we have to try to control fasten seatbelt by artificial intelligence processing of pictures taken by automatic cameras. And that's all, and thank you for your attention.
Christina, could you move up here? And David, if you could join us on the stage. Very interesting, and I know the conversations are continuing in the negotiations on the new driving license directive, so I know there will be further conversations on graduated driving licenses there. Are there any questions for David at this point? Sorry, we'll just wait for a microphone to come to you. If you could give your name and where you're coming from each time that there's a question. Thank you.
And please slow down.
Okay,
No excess speed.
I'm Tomislav from Croatia. I would like to ask you, you said that the fine goes to the holder of the registration certificate in any case, or you asked for who was the driver in the time of the offense?
No,
thank you.
It's the holder of the certificate, but the holder of certificate can say that it was not him who was driving. He can say it was my husband, my brother, and the fine will be paid by the person désigné by the holder of the certificate. But if the holder say nothing, it will be obliged to pay the fine.
Thanks.
There was another question from George, I believe.
Yes, I think that once upon a time you have been in the real epicenter of the political debate about Gilets jaunes and the speed. My question is, how did you cope with the pressure of the society on one hand and of the government to keep your principles despite all this pressure?
Yes, it's a tough job. When you look at the polls, you see that French people are attached to the speed limit, the speed cameras. They know that it saves lives on roads, but a lot of people express some other opinions. The yellow jacket movement has been very, very important, a moment for our political history. They have damaged a lot of devices on roads, but fortunately it was very old-fashioned devices. So we have been able to have new program, new speed cameras, much more efficient. so finally it was a good thing for us. No, I joke, but we have to be very careful with our opinion, which is not very happy with the problem. But one more time, if you see the polls, the opinion survey, that it's a majority of French people who are okay with these policies, this policy. And sometimes people want speed cameras. When you live in a small city with cars driving very fast, children endangered because of the traffic, they demand the speed camera. We have a lot of question when can you deploy a speed camera close to my house? So it's a balanced problem in our opinion.
Another question from Thomas here.
Thank you. Tomáš Netol from the Czech Republic, Minister of Transport. A question. We were all, with my Czech colleagues here, quite amazed by the relatively very low number of people, 45, I guess, who actually processed the whole system. So my question goes on that process, because in our conditions there is quite a large portion of people, a lot of people who object to the fine. So they don't accept it, and then of course the rest is automated, right? The rest goes fast, but at the moment when they object, you have to deal with the specific case, and the administration actually has quite a lot of trouble, and so my question is, how do you deal with that? And actually, how many people? Is that a lot of drivers who object, or it's a very low number? And how do you deal with this?
The people who object to the fine, in the case of automated control, is lower than the other fine. It's roughly 25%. That means that 75% pay without any problem. For the 25 remaining people, we have procedures, process. We have a large range of ways to encourage them to pay. And if they don't pay, finally, it can be a legal pursuit, legal problem. But 75%, it's a rather high ratio. But it depends essentially on rapidity of processing. The more rapid you are, the more acceptance you get for the offenders. They keep in mind the infringement. So yes, I remember I was running too speed, driving too speed, so I paid the fine. But when the process lasts longer, then the people don't want to pay. They don't remember the infringement. So it's much linked to the rapidity, the speed of the processing.
For those of us who've been on holidays in France and come home to find the letter waiting for us when we returned, we can attest to the speed of the processing. Yes. Christina, you wanted to come in?
Yeah.
Just pass the microphone.
Sorry. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just have a question concerning exactly the point you just said, because we are working on that. And do you know exactly the average time it's getting to send the penalty notice and or they receiving? I mean, and which means you are? I mean, you are just sending the post, normal post letters, or electronic, or any other information, please?
It's normal post letter. The delay between the offense and the sending of the letter is a very crucial key factor of success. The director of the national agency is interesting in his own salary with this kind of result. If the result worsen, then he will be paid less.
Interesting.
So it's a kind. It's a
I'm seeing heads of
incentive.
agencies nodding here. Yes.
It's a very efficient incentive to roughly, I will say 10 days average between the infringement and the day you receive the fine letter.
Good afternoon. My name is Jindřich Frič. I'm also from Czech Republic, Transport Research Center. David, I have about 10 questions.
We have a coffee break coming after this, so
Okay,
keep it to
but I
one.
think we will be partnered in this project, so I will ask you later. I have just one very short question, because I think also colleagues from Croatia ask about quite similar point of the bottleneck we have in legislation. Croatia, Czech Republic, it's exactly maybe the same fairy tales, but I would like to ask about the expenditure you mentioned for road safety. 3.8 million.
Yeah.
What kind of expenditure this mean? It's all from all France, NGO, state, police,
No,
infrastructure. What kind of?
It's only central state expenditures, main ministries, of course, interior, our budget, police budget dedicated to road safety, justice, health, education. The Ministry of Education is spending a lot of monies to have a huge budget to improve the knowledge of the young the children, the young boys and girls in school. So that is only the expenditure of the state. Of course, there is a lot of expenses on the local budget, especially for the infrastructures. That's much more than 3.8 billion euros a year.
I think we'll take one last question from two more questions, and then we definitely are going to break.
Konrad Romik, National Road Safety Council, Poland. Thank you very much, David, for your great presentation. It's just to see we have a lot of questions, but this kind of project is wonderful. You know why? Because the first part of this kind of project, we have an opportunity. Thank you very much, Antonio. Your colleagues, of course, from France, go to the range and see everything about the enforcement. So it means that it's very good exchange knowledge about that. But first question, it's from my side. It's dedicated about the budget, of course. So we know that, you know. But the second question is, you said in your presentation what will be right now. It's 4,800 electronic devices. Do you plan to rebuild this kind of system, more than 5,000 or more or less? It's depend on your opportunity to be more effective. This is the most important question from my side. And this, the last things, it's thank you very much for all this kind of people who give a chance to be here today for us. Thank you.
The figure of 4,600 is just lower than the maximum that the government allows us to deploy.
Okay.
There is a government decision that say that we cannot deploy more than 4,700. Why 4,700? I don't know really, but it's the maximum because after that it's considered that we can have a problem of acceptability of this policy. So there is a cap. We cannot go further this figure.
Yes, gentleman in the back.
Jan Sharp from the United Kingdom from Road Safety Support. I loved your presentation. One of the things I liked was when you showed the chart, when you saw the decreasing fatalities over the years. That's a similar path to what we achieved in the UK, and you saw the step change is when you started to put the cameras in. There was a step change then, and we saw exactly the same in the UK. Our strategies changed from about 2010, and we saw fatalities have sort of stagnated, and you've sort of done something similar. But one of the things you talked about earlier on was the implementation of your different cameras. And one of them was the in-car camera, the one that you have driving around. How effective has that been over recent years since you put that in? How do the public perceive those?
Yes, it's a recent program, onboard cameras. Usually we had onboard cameras driven by policies, gendarme police officers. But the policies have much more many other things to do than driving cars with cameras. So we decided 5 years ago, to give the capacity of drive this car to the private sector. So the private in the north of France. There is roughly 350 cars driven by private sector. They just drive the car. They cannot do nothing else than driving the car. They cannot interfere with the speed camera on board. But we consider that is very effective policy. The recent results show that average speed of the driver seen by the camera is lowering. Slowly, but it's lowering. So we are very confident with this new project. We think it's very positive project.
I think we'll bring that to a close. Thank you so much, David. That was an excellent intervention on the enforcement in France. We're going to take a quick coffee break now, so everybody who has their 10 questions each for David can grab him at the coffee break. We'll meet back here at 4:05. 4:05 in the room, in your seats, coffeed, been to the bathroom, everything done, 4:05. See you soon.